Hello, everyone. Heartbix here, back with another video for you guys. I'm back in my room, so uh, I'm supposed to by um I just had to set like new film location for my videos about in my living room, so my house and stuff, But mom's back in the house for that. Mom's here in the house today, so I figured it'd be I don't want to disturb her or anything like that, so I'm gonna have to be filming the video right here in my room. So anyway, everyone. Welcome to the second review for Halloween slash horror month, everyone. Where I'm going to be reviewing Jeepers Creepers 2. Now, everyone, yesterday I released my review for Jeepers Creepers 1, and I thought Jeepers Creepers 1 was an overall big bad. There were good elements to it. I do think it'll be good enough for regular horror movie goers, but I don't think it would be high. I don't think I would recommend highly for people who aren't that necessarily a big fan of horror movie stuff. So, going Jeepers Creepers 2, I expect to be at least on par with the first one. Hmm. so, so did Jeepers Creepers 2 top the first one, or at least be on par with it? In my own personal opinion, well, we'll find out as the video goes on. First, synopsis of the story. And when we talk about, like I said, everyone, just like the first one, we talk about some minor spoilers for the film. So if you haven't seen Jeepers Creepers 2, for you guys to see that movie first, or if you do know, if you have seen it or at least well knowledge of the film or don't care, then continue on with the video. So, and basic plot of Jeepers Creepers 2, it takes place 4 days after the events of the first film, and it's in the final days for the Creeper before he returns to his slumber for the next 23 years. So it starts off with him him taking a farmer's kid and as his latest victim, and the farmer plans to get Jeepers Creepers the next time he sees him, at least hears about him, and while that's going on, there's also a school bus full of jocks and cheerleaders who come back from a game or something, and the creeper decides to target them, and the creeper picks them off one by one, and throughout the film the students are trying to fight off against the creepers along with the farmer who's playing to get revenge on the creepers. So that's the brutal plot synopsis of Jeepers Creepers. What of Jeepers Creepers out? Jeepers Creepers 2 there. So, and everyone, I felt like I was more invested in this plot than I did with the first Jeepers Creepers. To be honest, because my biggest problem with Jeepers Creepers was that it had a bit of a slow start. My own personal opinion, it took. I mean, it took them a while to get up to took them a little while. It took me a little while to get truly invested in the film. Uh, with Jeepers Creepers 2, I was pretty much hooked from from the beginning of the film to near to pretty much the end of the film and stuff like that. Sorry, one. Anyway, it could be just now it could be just because there were more characters focused on, unlike the first movie where it had just Trisha and Derry as the main focus and stuff, and where and there was some more action and more action scenes in this and more intense scenes in this movie, my own personal opinion, compared to the first one. So overall, I think the story was better executed what they were going for with Jeepers Creepers 2. I think they did with the first film, where it took them a little while to get to, really get intense and stuff like that, really get me invested into the scenes and stuff like that. And as for the characters, well, same with the plot. I feel like I was more invested with them. Yeah, the characters that I was with the first one, where I guess it could be just because there are more characters focused on stuff like that. But I feel like they did a better job focusing, delving out the characters, make them feel, feel for them, stuff like that. In this film compared to the first one. And probably the regret I did mention my review for the first Jeepers Creepers film is that, aside from the last, from one part of the scene where Trisha and Derry, uh, ran over Jeepers Creepers a couple times with the car, he really didn't do much to try and fight back against them. Now, some of you might say that Hunter, if people fight back, it would make the monster look kind of weak and stuff like that. I guess it ultimately depends on what. It ultimately depends on what kind of film they're ultimately trying to make there, in my personal opinion. And I think the direction they took with Jeepers Creepers with the characters and how they were fighting against Jeepers Creepers on the film, after about the second film here, everyone, I felt like did a better job with that. I mean, the characters were showing that they were afraid, but they're not afraid. They know that if they don't take out Jeepers Creepers, they weren't going to survive. So I gotta give the film props for that, making the characters more of a combat, more of a challenge for Jeepers Creepers, but while at the same time making Jeepers Creepers a major threat to the characters and stuff. As for personality wise, I liked all the characters except for Scully. I felt like he was a real jerk throughout the film and stuff like that. Even when Jeepers Creepers was about to took him out, I said I was talking about some spoilers of this film, so yeah, Scully he ends up dying in the film, so. So I didn't really feel much when he got axed stuff. Aside from Sky, I really enjoyed the cast of Jewish Creepers and stuff too, and stuff like that. And, but as for the question, whether if it scared me or not in certain parts, well, that's probably one of the other gripes I have with Jewish Creepers too. Is that it's had some of the problems with the first. They really feel is that again as coming from someone who hasn't watched too many horror films lately, but I just don't really feel much when it comes to the feature factor. Similar to the first film, Jim Shooter suit, there were some parts where I was creeped out and stuff like that, but not really made me feel a fear or make me scared or something like that. But I do feel like that, the direction that they were taking with James Crusoe, how they played out the storyline, stuff like that, characters, I feel like I felt more invested, maybe feel more invested in the character, like the overall storyline, the characters and stuff, where I overall enjoyed Jeepers Creepers 2 a little bit more than, Jeepers Creepers 2 more than the first film. Now, granted, there were some problems I had with the film, there were some problems I have with the first film that does still transition over to Jeepers Creepers 2, but I think overall I still enjoyed Jeepers Creepers 2 more than the first film, so. I guess that's up my thoughts on the characters, how the story was structured, and whether if the film made me feel a favorite stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's now time to move on to my rating for Jeepers Creepers 2. Everyone, I went this over with the first review, but for new reviewers, my reviews of highest recommendation score is a must-buy slash must-watch, which is the highest recommendation for a film. Or films usually, or film, I feel like our masterpieces, and our I do highly recommend people see stuff like that. And my second highest is a bias rating, where I do think it. While it's not the greatest film ever made, I do think it's good enough where I do think it would be a worthy addition to people's DVD collections, stuff like that. Movie collections overall, whether it be digital or physical, like stuff like that. Then the third, then there's a stream slash rented, where it's kind of middle ground for films there, where it's not where I don't think it's good enough where you have to buy a DVD or something like that. But if you do, once again, I do recommend either rented or DVD stuff or stream it on Netflix or Amazon Prime. And then there's the Adore Rave, which is films that aren't necessarily the worst I've seen. I do feel like that they don't have enough good qualities in them. Where I don't think people I don't think it's worth for people to spend their money on to do see stuff. Then there's my lowest rating, which is the lead burn rating, which goes to some of the worst films I've ever seen. So I do think people should avoid at all costs. So the Jeepers Creepers 2, for me, I do think, well, I don't consider it one of the greatest movies I've ever seen or anything like that. I do feel like there's enough good elements where I do think it's better than the first one, and overall rating for it would definitely be do recommend it by it on DVD or Blu-ray if it's available on Blu-ray stuff. So, and I do think it does, and it's available at a pretty cheap price. Like I said, my first Jeepers Creepers review, I got a couple of DVD of the first and second film out on the double DVD collection, stuff like that for the films, only for like $5 on one of my retail stores nearby me and stuff. So if it has that cheap price, that cheaper price, I do think Jeepers Creepers 2 definitely worth the buy. Either the first film, like I said, I don't think it's as good as the second one. Consider, there's that cheap of a price, for both films. I do think it's worth a buy, but if it was any higher than that for the first film, then I recommend people, just watch it on Netflix or some probably just skip it, or any other streaming service available for it, or otherwise just skip the film. But the second one, I do recommend you guys check out Jeepers Creepers 2, I think it's worth the money, Again, not necessarily with the best films to see, but for a non-horror movie watcher like me that's watched horror films often, I do think it's worth a buy for your DVD collection, or digital movie collection if you guys download them and stuff like that. Everyone, this wraps up my review, everyone. And for our next overall movie review, I'll do play a review of the Wonder Woman movie. It'll probably be sometime next week because I gotta work, next couple days, and so we'll be like necessarily have too much time to sit down and watch and film the review like I do it for the Jeepers Creepers films. And I will get to the Wonder Woman movie review next week, everyone. And as for my next films to review for horror slash Halloween month, everyone, I'll be taking take a look at some of the most beloved movies out of the 1980s, and that's the Ghostbusters films, everyone. I'm planning on checking out Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2, and I'll still have the fence about it. I may even check out the 2016 reboot, I've heard a lot of good things about the first two Ghostbusters films, rather mixed things about the reboot, the 2016 reboot, everyone. So, I plan to watch the original Ghostbusters, the sequel to the original, and get all the fits for reboot of Ghostbusters. I'll let you guys know whenever the first Ghostbusters review comes out, or maybe my Wonder Woman movie review. I'll let you guys know for sure whether if I'll review the reboot of Ghostbusters or that for Halloween / horror month. So. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for now. Until next time, it's Heartbake signing out.